the engineering process. So you have to ask yourself like, what kind of constraints do you have? You know, you start with like a problem. So ours is the HVDC. So we have to research it for sure, right? We have to know what a recumbent bike is, because that's what it's based on, a recumbent bike. What do you want it to do? Do you want it to be like, you know, fast? Do you want to make it maneuverable? All these questions we have to, you know, there has to be a time where we have to put research into it. We got to learn like the rules, the you know, the regulations of like what how safety the vehicle is, and all those things. We have to imagine too. You know, we have to design the actual thing. Like we can talk about what we wanted to do, what we wanted to do, like how do you want it to look like, but we have to actually you know, make sure it's what we imagine is like, oh, is it even manufacturable? Is it easy? How hard is it to make this? How hard is it to make that? You have to think about those kind of constraints. You have to plan it out. So like you said about like, it's a kind of a management. So it is that too. You know, we have to plan out like, all right, cool. Our competition is like in a year. So how are we gonna plan out? What phases are we gonna, you know, how long our phases are going to be, like our design phase? How long are we gonna, you know, give ourselves to research and design a product? You know, and then we're gonna research how much is this gonna cost? Is it can we even make it? Can we even drive it? Is it, you know, is it safe? We have to think about those things. We have to plan things out, and then we have to create a prototype. So like, as much as we have everything like talking and you know, planning to do, we have to actually get our hands dirty and just do it. Because a lot of the times that you know, the problems that we had was we talked about getting the design, we talked about planning things out, we have all everything, you know, sorted out. Well, let's just do it. And that's usually like where people stop, because I'm like, well, I've never worked with tools, or where do I start? Like, oh, how do you do this? And there's the others who know how to work with that. You know, they have worked like with some kind of, you know, machinery and tools like that. And that's, you know, it's good to bring them up to your level, just like, you know, help them out. And then we test it, like, because for sure the test is going to come to the report where you have to tell them, well, this was our first prototype, and this is the you know, the constraints we had. This is what, you know, didn't work, and what we did work, and what we improved on, and what we scrapped. We want to show that in the report, saying this is how we progressed to prototype 1 to prototype 10, or, you know, they want to see that. They want to see how much effort we put into the project, and then just improve it. Just, you know, make sure it gets better and better every time. If we want it to be fast, we want it to, you know, be comfortable. We want it to, you know, be whatever. That's kind of like the basic line of engineering, where you have to plan, you have to design, you have to research, you have to make a report, and you have to, you know, do it again. It's just a cycle. So now we're going to go into the actual competition itself. It pretty much is to help students, you know, it's giving you an opportunity to learn about manufacturing, because we're going to have to manufacture the project. We have to learn how to use SolidWorks. We have to learn how to use like design. We have to, you know, we got to learn how to do those things. And that's what the challenge entails. You have to do those things to be able to produce the actual product. So, and not only does it expand you on that, like it gives you, once you get to this point where you're able to create that, I'm like, whoa, what else can I do? You know, if I can make this, and I can move on to other things. I have the resources. I know how to research. I know how to do these things. Like I can not only just have to build this, I can build other stuff, and that's usually what engineering is. And pretty much the actual bike itself, like it's like an alternative to driving a car. You know, that's the purpose of this. Is, yeah, of course we're going to learn all these things about how to make the product, but we also have to, you know, the mission statement for the actual competition is just like, it's just an alternative to another car. You know, we want to keep it, you know, environmentally friendly, and that's pretty much it. It's like it's something you can use to go drive, you know, to the grocery store. And it's safe. So we're gonna jump into just ASME in the past. You know, we've as far as the club is, they competed the last time they competed was 2017, and that year or that semester we placed 17 out of 32 universities. So like Berkeley was there, USC, what was there, Cal Poly Pomona, San Luis Obispo, all these top universities were there, and most of them are students who are doing their senior design. But for us, we're just doing it because we want to do it for the fun of it. For engineering, it helps us. Gives them we have like the advantage because we have much more constraints that they do. You know, they have all these like fundings and all these machineries, but we're able to compete against them. We beat Berkeley like I think it was that year. We beat them, and they have all these resources, and we have like our limited resources. We've been the only community college to compete. I don't know how long that's gonna last because I've heard rumbles of other schools kind of wanting to compete. Since we're competing, why can't other community colleges compete? So as much as that we're proud of that, that's not gonna last long. And we've been competing consistently since 2014. And you'll see the bike, but that bike that they used for the first time has been used every single year. And that's one thing we're gonna change for sure, because we still have it, and you guys get to see it. And this is the earliest known team. I don't know if you guys know anybody here. I don't know anybody except one person. Yeah, that's pretty much the team that was back here, that competed. And that's the bike. So you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys recognize Ed. He's one of the faculty here. You know, he's been involved since the beginning. And then that's the same team, except they're taking a photo with I think a team from Mexico. So, oh yeah, I forgot to say that. Usually the Universidad de UNAM from Mexico competes, so they come over and we have a good relationship with them. So that's their device, you know, their prototype, and that's ours right there. And you know, just a few familiar faces probably, or just Ed right there. And Andrew too. Have you guys? You probably guys might see Andrew once in a while around here. And then, so this is a photo of them at the competition. So one of the things that we're gonna have to be able to do is when you're competing, there's gonna be some kind of you know, trouble with the bike. So like a flat tire or a screw came loose. You're gonna have to be able to do that quickly because the competition is gonna start. And not only that, but you want to have it ready for inspection too. So when we get there, there's gonna be judges who are inspecting it, making sure that the vehicle is like safe to drive. And this is just them just trying to tinker with it, making sure it's ready for the race. And then this is the following year's team. So you know, there's probably a few familiar faces there. There's Ed again taking a photo, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much the team from that year. And this team, this team competed in Montana, so it was a pretty long commute from what I heard. Ed usually talks about it, so you know, you can always ask him about that stuff. And then this is so when it comes to presentations at the competition, we don't do presentations in front of judges anymore. That changed last year. Now it's a video. So you have to present in a video and it has to be professional. But here it's just how they used to conduct it, where you're in front of judges and they, you know, I guess grade your PowerPoint, see how well, you know, developed it is. And when I went to volunteer one time, it wasn't in a room, it was like in a hangar, which is weird. But it's just gives you an idea how they run it too. Like it's just also like they're trying to maintain and run. And then this is just another photo, another angle of how the bike looked like when they were competing that year. So there's one familiar face there. I think that's Miguel. But he doesn't go here anymore. He transferred like a while back. And yes, and this is another angle, same. So you notice how we have fairing. We have a headrest, red belts, seat belts. So that's how the bike looked like. And then this is I think this was the team before I joined. So this is the team that reached the 17th place. That was the top, the highest we've gone. And the thing that is in common with everyone is that there's always a familiar face. There's always somebody who was in the earliest team who are still in the team, like for a long time. And everyone was experienced. Yeah, there's Ed again, you know, he's been there. Ernie, I don't know if you guys met Ernie, he's like our vice president for engineering club. And this is just the bike that they used that year. So notice how it's different now. Well, still the same, but they took off the fairing, they changed the seat belts, and they might have welded a few things here and there just to kind of improve its performance. So yeah, they've been using the same bike since the beginning. And that's just testing the RPS, which is the roller protection system. It's just pretty much keeping you from hitting the ground. So this round thing is supposed to protect you in case it tosses over or you fall over, whatever. You won't get a scratch on yourself. You just it holds you up, and you'll be fine. And that's one thing that the judges consider into the report, where it's like, is it safe? So those are not only do they inspect it, but they make sure that they test it and say, all right, well, lay down or show us a video where you're fine, you know. And then this is here. I think they're just welding one of the bars at the bottom of the bike. Can't really see it here, but yeah, it's right there in the bottom.